Thank you for having me. Well, I guess I'd start by saying my name is Ann Fauver, Ann Fauver Willis. I run trust and safety at OpenSea, and before that I was the COO of a Layer 1. So I've been in the space for a while. And one of the things I'm really passionate about is mass adoption, bringing this technology to more and more folks. And I think you guys have probably heard a lot of talks about some of the more exciting pieces of this, which is better UX, cool token incentives, education. I'm going to talk to you about one that you might find to be a little bit more boring, but I think is incredibly important as a foundational aspect of how we bring more folks to the space, and that's trust and safety. But I think unlike Web 2, where every company sort of sets its own rules, we actually have to work together. In Web 3, this really is an ecosystem challenge. And so I'm really here today to say, if we want more folks to come, we should all work together to try to make it a safer place for everyone. And we'll talk a little bit about that. So I'll start just by mapping out the problem. Like, is this really a problem? Yes. Some of the work we're doing, and then again, some of the work I think we all can do together to really make the space safer. So some numbers up here, but we pulled some data from a couple surveys really to note some of the concerns users have. And so a survey from CBS showed that actually 89% of folks who haven't bought crypto in the US are concerned about buying it because it's risky. Now, there's many reasons for that. Of course, safety is one of them, investment is another, but about 1/3 of folks also just see it as insecure. So the perception of the space is still challenging for many people. And there's some truth to that, right? Like, we've seen a number of big hacks this year at the protocol layer, at the application layer, that draw concern from folks who are new to the space. And in the NFT space, we're really no different, right? Like, we've had our own specific challenges. So this is an interesting one we see in the NFT space, which is folks actually go to an off-platform minting site, and they believe they're getting alpha on something. And really what's happening is they're signing away their access to their wallet, and everything gets drained. It's a very concerning ecosystem problem. And then, of course, another ecosystem problem is what we call copy mints, which is this idea that people create fake collections that are really built to deceive users into buying the fake collection. An ecosystem problem we're all working on. And so at OpenSea, we really see this as an issue we need to tackle head on. For us, we want to be the most trusted marketplace, and to do that, we've made huge investments in trust and safety. And so I'll walk through a little bit of those now. Our approach, however, is to really think about how we can empower our users in this space and educate them while really respecting the rule and the rules of the Web3 as well. So that's a little bit of how we think about these. And so I'll talk a little bit about some of the investments we've made this year specifically. The first is what I call collection authenticity, which is how do we help people find the thing they know they are looking for. The second is theft prevention and detection, which I think is relatively straightforward. And then the third is education and onboarding, which is a piece of this as well. So walking into collection authenticity. So there's three things we've spent a fair amount of time working on this year. One is copy mint detection. The second is what I call search and discovery, really making sure that when people are looking for things, they find what they're looking for. And then third are a number of other things to make sure we block out other instances of deception, people tricking folks through using the same name or using other like images. And this year we've made pretty big strides on this. So actually this month we've been working on image detection technology that identifies copy mints and spam. And we're actually at a point where this month we're doing an instantaneous, near instantaneous of 60-second takedown of these direct images. And we'll continue to expand this work. And as a result, in the last month we saw only 0.75% of page views as a sample were from copy mints. So it's a really low number of what people are actually interacting with on our site, which is exciting. Second, we've really changed the way we do verification as a way to drive better search and discovery. We've built it into the product. We've made it easier for folks to access. And then we use that information as well as some other data to really drive good high-fidelity search in our product so people find what they're looking for. And then third, we've streamlined our reporting process. It's obviously a real challenge. We've really focused on instances of other types of deception, And so we focus on things like general name recognition and things that are very similar there, and are working on other issues like fake check marks. Like, a lot of people have used these to identify issues as well. So that's something we're able to instantaneously take down too. So next is theft prevention and detection, a hot issue in the space. And for this one, it's really important, we want to think about this really at the root cause. Theft is an ecosystem issue, not only for NFTs, but across the entire ecosystem. We know it's something that's concerning. And so we're really focused at, one, just figuring out how do we actually stop this from happening. So we're working very closely with wallet providers as well as others in the space to educate users to prevent them from doing things that might put them at risk. In addition to that, though, when theft does happen, we're spending a lot of time building better models to make sure we're detecting this quickly. And then finally, for those who are impacted, we're trying to come up with better reporting mechanisms to make sure it's easy to use as well. And so we've made good steps here as well, and we'll continue to. And so on this side, we've done a lot on the theft prevention side. We've built spam detection filters. We're working on URL and malicious smart detection so we can prevent people from seeing bad sites. And then we're working with ecosystem and wallets within the ecosystem really to make sure we're driving good hygiene for safety across the space. I'd also just note, we just launched a primary drop site, which we really believe will help drive people to a safe space to mint, so they're not going to sort of just random sites. And so we're excited to see that as a trust and safety mechanism as well, really educating people about where to go to mint effectively. On theft detection, we've built out really significant heuristics to identify and tackle fraud head on, and we'll use that information to hopefully help prevent users from being impacted by buying something that may have been stolen. And then finally, we've updated our reporting process, one, to just make it easier for folks. So if they do have an issue, they can come to us and we respond very quickly. But two, to make sure we're verifying that information so those who are impacted is as minimized as possible. And then last but not least, we launched the OpenSea Learn Center last month. And the goal of this is really to educate folks not only about the broader NFT space, but also about how we stay safe in the industry. And you'll see a lot of content coming out in the next quarter really about safety and security here as well. So just talked a lot about OpenSea, and we're really excited about what we're doing, but I want to reiterate again that this is a team sport. It's really important to think about Web3 as an industry where we all need to work together. We can set certain rules or set certain standards, but we're only one piece of the ecosystem. There's wallets, there's other sites involved, there's other marketplaces involved, and we really all need to work together to make sure that we're helping our users feel safe in the space. So I wanted to call out just a couple examples of cool companies we think are doing this, and cool companies that are helping the ecosystem. Doppel and Optic are good examples of folks doing image recognition. Fishport is doing URL detection. Harpy and WalletGuard are working on cool wallet protection systems. And the list just really goes on and on. TRM, chain abuse. So really awesome to see the updates here. And also from really big players as well. We've been working with Coinbase Wallet, and it's been very cool to see them actually update their UI. So when you sign transactions that may be at risk, they actually warn users. This is a huge step to prevent this type of signing and malicious minting activity from happening. And we're seeing MetaMask take steps to do this as well. They've added this UX, and we're excited to see what else they do this quarter also. And then finally, I'd just add, there's a ton of awesome education out there that we're hoping to drive folks to beyond our site as well. Web3 University is something we've been involved, that Alchemy's been driving, but there's also great sites like Odyssey and Rabbit Hole, and many, many more that will help educate users in the space. So I'll end this talk by just saying, once again, it's really up to all of us to make this space safe. So if you're a builder, a creator, or a community member, as you go out into the world, into the NFT space or into crypto more generally, I ask all of you to think about what you can do to make the world that you're in safer so new folks will join it. If we don't work together here, we're going to continue to have these hacks and other challenging issues, and it will be much more difficult for us to bring new folks to the space. And with that, I'll say thank you.